Morty matchup tier list. Pretty self-explanatory here. If a character is a very good matchup for Morty, we're going to put him in the let's go tier. And if you would be better off just jumping off the map 3 times than finishing the match, we're going to put him in the jump off 3 times tier. Starting off with Arya Stark, Morty has a very hard time against this character just because she is so centered off of closing the gap, getting close to you and executing ridiculous combos. Even her down tilt is meant to get extremely close to you. Her entire move set is just meant to be super aggressive. So we are going to put her in jump off 3 times. You're pretty much done for if you play an Arya Stark. Next up, Banana Guard. Don't get me wrong, this is definitely still one of the best characters in the game. However, his entire moveset is meant to approach you. Obviously, he does a stupid amount of damage if he can get close to you and use his ridiculous moves. However, a character that is made for spamming projectiles versus a character that is meant to get up close and use powerful moves, I bet you could see how that is a slight advantage for Morty. His side special on the ground does deflect your grenades, which I have seen help Banana Guards a lot. However, with the mud wall, with the laser gun, it seems like Morty does have a slight advantage here, despite this character being so good. And let me also say, you are going to lose to a Banana Guard a lot of the time just because they are so good. Despite Morty having an advantage on paper, he still just does so much damage. He is going to win matches sometimes just off of that alone. Batman is a character that, believe it or not, I genuinely think to be a complete mismatch for Morty. I think that Morty has the heavy advantage here. Let me explain why. So let's talk about some of Batman's best moves. Obviously, he has the zipline move, which allows him to aggressively approach you. However, you have Morty's mud wall to stop the zipline in its tracks. I think that is one of the only moves in the game that are going to be able to stop Batman after he is already attached to you. You can react to it and then just use the mud wall. You also have his batarangs, which really only work if the opponent is trying to approach you, and if you're using Morty, you're probably not trying to approach unless your stun gun is fully recharged. And furthermore, you can actually mud wall his batarang to make it completely disintegrate, and then I think it takes like 7 seconds to recharge or something. Batman really doesn't have a lot of tools to deal with Morty, and of course he has moves that take extremely long to recover from, and in that time period you can hit a forward air, or you can hit your stun gun, or you can throw out your grenade. Honestly, I think that this is a complete mismatch. I've never felt outclassed against the Batman. I've played top 10 Batmans in the world, and I still feel like I have a chance just because this is just such a mismatch in my opinion. Black Adam is also a complete mismatch against Morty. However, it is in the wrong way. Black Adam is completely equipped to stop Morty in every way possible. First of all, we have his projectile shield, which literally just disables Morty's game plan. We have his down tilt, which forces Morty to approach, furthermore disabling his game plan. And on top of his moves completely disabling Morty, he is obviously one of the most broken characters in the game, so either way, Morty is just cooked. When Morty plays Bugs Bunny, Morty actually has the advantage. Let me explain. First of all, when Bugs Bunny uses a rocket, you can stop it with not only your mud wall, but also your grenades. When he shoots a safe at you, you can duck it. I don't know if you know this, but Morty has one of the best crouches in the entire game. You are going to get very low. You are going to be able to duck his safe and his rocket. If all else fails, you cannot stop his rocket otherwise. His neutral air has a hard time hitting Morty because of his height, and obviously Bugs Bunny is an extremely good character, but those are 3 of his best moves, and Morty has an easy time countering them. Therefore, I do think that this matchup is in Morty's favor. Finn's biggest weakness is presumed to be projectiles just because his neutral game is so strong. However, I do not believe that to be the case, because if you try to stand back against Finn, he has his side special which stops projectiles, and if he gets you off stage, he once again has that very good neutral control. Morty is going to struggle to get back on stage against Finn. Finn is probably going to struggle with Morty's mud wall and his projectiles. Therefore, I believe this to be a completely even matchup. Both sides have disadvantages here. Both sides have advantages. Garnet is too big and too slow to deal with Morty's projectiles and his combos. However, she does have a move that stops projectiles from being attached to her if you play back for too long. I do think that this is a Morty advantage, but I don't want to say that it is a complete advantage. I think that Morty does have the favor in this matchup. However, because of Garnet's weight and Garnet's damage, I do not think it's impossible for a Garnet to win against a Morty. I think that this is a slight advantage for Morty. Gizmo is literally Morty but better. He has the umbrella to stop projectiles. He has the car to approach Morty very quickly. And finally, the number one thing that is going to be a problem when playing a Gizmo as a Morty is that his arrows completely break your grenades. They just go right through your grenades, and this guy can continue to spam you, and there's not much you can really do about it besides mud wall and try your best to approach. Gizmo is going to force you to approach despite Morty being a projectile centered character. Therefore, I'm going to just put it, I don't know if it's jump off 3 times. I'm going to put it in slight disadvantage. You can definitely win against a Gizmo know, you just have to play kind of weird. You got to mud wall a lot. You got to approach with your forward airs. It's going to help that he's very light. You can definitely kill him with an up air at about 110. However, I do believe that Morty has a disadvantage in this matchup. Harley Quinn is not only broken, but her down tilt allows her to come right at you without any consequences, as your stun gun for some reason is not going to hit her despite the hitboxes looking like they are going to collide. That disables Morty's game in neutral, and really your only option is to try to mud wall her while she is sliding, but even that's not going to work because the slide is so fast. If you could hit her with the stun gun while she was sliding, this would probably be a slight disadvantage matchup or even completely even. However, because her slide allows her to go under your stun gun, I think that this is a lost cause. Harley being a top tier combined with the fact that you are going to struggle in neutral makes her a very bad matchup for Morty. Iron Giant is a very good matchup for Morty for two reasons. First of all, you are pretty much never going to miss your stun gun hit, which just leads to 55 damage combos. This guy is complete combo meat. You can just do ridiculous combos on him over and over, and your up air is going to connect even if you use it on the ground. And second, this guy is going to struggle to hit you because you're so small. Honestly, when I'm playing an Iron Giant, I don't even think. I just do a bunch of combos and it works because he's so big. I'm gonna put this guy in Let's Go. Jake is a character that I believe to be the most honest and balanced in the entire game, and that once again applies here. I don't think he has anything that stands out to me for his side or Morty's side that makes anyone have an advantage. Jason is already slow and awful, and then you have the fact that Morty can throw grenades all over the place, and Jason really can't do anything about it because he's so slow and awful. Jason is sweet for pretty much any character, but for Morty, yeah, I'll put him in Let's Go. I mean, I've never lost to a Jason with Morty, I don't think. The only thing that Morty has that makes the matchup against Wonder Woman a little easier is his fully charged Plumbus, which breaks armor. However, even without Wonder Woman's down special, she's still by far the best character in the game, and she is by far going to have an easier time with every character in this roster than any other character. Therefore, jump off the map 3 times. You have no chance if you're playing someone who actually has a brain, which luckily for you, most Wonder Woman players seem to be glue sniffers. Joker is so broken, and it doesn't change against the matchup with Morty. If anything, he becomes even more broken because of his card moves. He's going to throw a card anytime you are going to throw a laser. They intercept each other. Now you're screwed in neutral because all he has to do is jab you one time to do 50 damage and then start spamming up tilts to kill you at 0%. Get him out of here, man. Joker is completely broken, and this matchup is completely one-sided. Morty stands no chance. It's a pretty fair matchup against LeBron, especially after his nerf. However, if both characters are relying on their projectiles, LeBron's projectile game is obviously a little better than Morty within his basketball and his down special and whatnot, so I'm going to put him in slight advantage, even though in reality, it's probably completely even. I just have bad luck against LeBron personally, so I'm going to put him in slight advantage. Morty is a character that is good with projectiles, bad with pressure. Marvin the Martian is a character that is really good with projectiles, really bad with pressure. I think that this is a completely fair matchup. Marvin the Martian doesn't really do a lot of damage up close, and you can force him into situations where you have to play up close because he doesn't have any tools to deal with it. Marvin can try to force Morty into a situation where they have to play from afar, and Marvin the Martian wins from afar because he can bubble up your lasers and your grenades. Actually, I don't know if he can bubble your lasers. He can definitely bubble your grenades. I don't know. I don't have a hard time against Marvin. I think it's a completely even matchup. Morty versus Morty is completely even, obviously. Morty versus Raindog, I actually think that this is also a completely even matchup. You probably expected me to put him in Let's Go just because Raindog is so bad. However, I think that Raindog definitely has a chance against Morty if he can set up multiple crystals. You know, if he can use his projectiles and use his up air to kill early, he definitely has a chance in this matchup. I think it's completely even. These are both two low tier characters that rely on their assist game and aren't very good in 1v1s. Morty versus Rick, another completely even matchup. In my opinion, Morty and Rick are two extremely similar characters. Their play styles are pretty much identical. Therefore, it's an even matchup. I do think that Rick is slightly better than Morty. However, not enough to make Rick have the advantage here. You can definitely win if you're Morty or Rick in this matchup. Shaggy is a completely even matchup despite his powered up kick probably being the most undodgeable move in the entire game. Shaggy definitely has a hard time approaching you. If Shaggy didn't have his sandwich move, this would be a one-sided affair in Morty's favor. However, Shaggy does have that tool to stop you from approaching, and he can power up if you try to play from afar. Therefore, I do think that this is even. Both characters have tools to intercept the other character's game plan. Steven Universe has his shield to stop Morty's projectile, and he has his forward air to stop Morty's projectiles. Therefore, I think that this is a slight advantage for Steven Universe because he's more well equipped to deal with Morty than Morty is for Steven. If you try to play back, Steven can do his down special to spawn the watermelon. He can do his side special to spawn a shield to make you approach pretty much. Stripe is very good at closing the gap in neutral. However, just like Morty, he does not have kill moves, and unlike Morty, he is very light, so he is going to die very early. I think this is a completely even matchup. Not really much to say here. If you can stop him from closing the gap, which is definitely going to be difficult, then you are going to have the upper hand here. And if he is very good at controlling neutral, he is going to have the upper hand. If Taz didn't have an infinite in the game right now, I would say that this is a slight advantage for Morty. But thanks to Taz's infinite, I mean, you literally stand no chance. No character stands a chance, so just jump off the map. If they know how to do the infinite, it's grits for you. Have fun. The reason I would put him in slight advantage otherwise is because Morty can shoot his laser gun while he is doing his side special, which is a huge counter for this character, and you will even get a combo after stopping that move. Superman is a slight disadvantage for Morty because he can command grab your forward air and because he has so many armored moves. Obviously, Morty has his charged up Plumbus, which breaks armor, but sometimes you are not going to be able to fully charge it in the time in which Superman is going to be able to do an armored move, such as his up smash. It is 100% winnable though. You can definitely win against Superman. It just is a slight disadvantage, I feel. Tom and Jerry is probably Morty's worst matchup because of his neutral special that is going to break your grenades and your stun guns. He pretty much gets priority over all of your projectiles all of the time, and his dynamites are going to once again break your stun gun. You really can't do anything in neutral. This guy is going to have total stage control over you because for some reason all of his moves just have priority over Morty's. He's literally just considered Morty but better. All his projectiles are stronger. Velma's sweet no matter who you're playing. I mean, she literally has nothing. She just sucks. So yeah, good matchup. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See y'all later.